Okay, so recognising in June for all the enrolments that have been coming through month to date, with 4 people, we have got, first of all, Seth Azare, Benoit Bernier, Tracy Harrington, Gwen Massari, Alan Tom, Andrea Wood, Susanna Schoen, Tanya Joost, Michael Snyder, Michaela Stadler, and Saskia Bell. So congratulations to all of you. And with a massive 5 people introduced in June, congratulations to Gaynor Mentiply, Annette van der Meer, and Bianca Peters. With 6, we have our very own Lisa Burke, who's recruited or introduced 6 people into doTERRA this month. And also up on 8, fantastic result, Peter Ria. With 9, we've got Shantae, I should say, van der Meer. And with 10, a massive 10, we have Tracy Stewart, and there's still obviously quite a lot of June still to go. And topping the shop this week with 12 new people introduced is Alison Thomas. So congratulations to all of you, and even if you haven't been mentioned, if you had 1, 2 or 3 people, congratulations to all of you as well. Now, we do have an enrolment incentive, of course, on for June. Just as a reminder, this is to help you obviously really keep reaching out, and certainly here in Europe we've got a fantastic enrolment incentive, and anybody who starts on with starts with doTERRA with 100 PV or more in June, and we would always say, just keeping it simple for people that are looking at the business with either the Family Essentials Kit or the Home Essentials Kit, and they set up 100 PV loyalty rewards order for July, they get 100 free loyalty points awarded in August. A lot of people don't know what that really equates to, and it can be cashed in August on any of these products. I mean, this here equates to just under 100 loyalty points. It's around about $100 US, something like that, to give you an idea. But they can be cashed in for absolutely any product. So do make sure you're telling people to get in the next few days to really help them, or help you boost your business for this month and give them the best offers as well. Also this week we have our online classes. Tomorrow evening we have our first at 7 p.m, Thursday on the 25th at 11 a.m, and this Saturday at midday, and you can just pass that on to any prospects you wish to, and they can log in at learntheessentials.info, and the room is open anytime from 20 minutes before the start of the event. So that is pretty much my job done for this week. And like I said, we were speaking about LRP last week, and let me just stop sharing this now. And Lisa said at that particular time, this would be a good time to look further about the presentation and what she does and stuff like that. So I'll pass it over now to you, Lisa.
Brilliant, thanks Andy. Andy, those last 2 slides that you did, great graphics. Would you be able to pop them into the group?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. Hadn't seen them before, but I really like them.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone else would.
I should also say as well, one of the other slides that we use is for the South African one, and because in South Africa they got a different deal this month, so that's on the 22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
But Dave Williams did them, and he often comes onto these. I'm sure Dave won't have any issue at all.
Yeah, great. So I think especially where we are at this point in the month, you know, anybody that has got prospects, potential people that they're talking to, it'd be good to send that out now, because there's not very many days left that they can still take advantage of that program. So it'd be really good to follow up with everyone. So yeah, if you can do that, Andy, that'd be great. Okay, so just Vicky's just saying, it might just be me, would like further help with this, but I have a suggestion for possible future chat on how to ensure we stay compliant. Okay. Yeah, right. I'll let you do that one, Andy. Thank you, Vicky, for that suggestion. One of probably the hardest subjects that we could be asked for, but I'm sure we can find a way to help. Yeah, so we yeah, but we're always looking for new content that you would be helpful to you. So yeah, sure, we will do what we can. Okay, let me put my presentation on. Okay, so as Andy said last week, I did say I'd share with you my wellness consultation presentation, so I'm going to do that tonight. Also, please do use the chat if there's things that, because obviously you're all, especially if you're established, you're all doing wellness consultations, so I'm conscious of that, and so everyone has their own way of doing things. So please don't look at mine and think you have to completely change anything you do. If it's working for you, absolutely great. There might be some content that you might think, oh, actually that would enhance what I'm doing, or I might want to tweak things and make it my own in a certain way. That's absolutely fine too. So whatever works for you and is working for you is great. And as I say, just pop in the chat if there's anything that you'd like to add to what I'm saying that you think would be helpful to others that are on the call. Then let's make this call as interactive and as keep everyone as involved in it as possible. So let's start my screen share if I can. Can you see my screen okay? Everyone see okay? Yep.
Yeah.
All okay?
Yeah, all good.
Good. Good. Okay. So my first slide that I start with on my wellness consultations is just sort of setting the scene for people's sort of, the first wealth is health, that people's priority, because they can't get their health back ever, however much money they've got. And our priority in helping and supporting people is to help people in not just in a way that if they have a problem we can suggest an oil for them, but actually in a proactive way to help them actually live a more healthier lifestyle through using our oils. And the fact is that 7 in 10 deaths worldwide are actually often avoidable from an early death point. So is that you? Okay, sorry about that. Just a little bit of side noise going on. Yeah, so the top chronic illnesses: cardiovascular, chronic respiratory, cancer, diabetes, medical health conditions. There's things that we can help and support people with in terms of changing their habits to actually help avoid some of these more chronic illnesses. So what I do is I always start my wellness consultations after I've done that initial talk about proactive health in helping people rate how they feel in certain situations. So you've probably seen something similar to this on an LRP presentation. And what I do is I have my presentation in, I don't have it in play mode so that I can actually write on my slides. So I find it sort of nice and easy to be able to, so I'm here, actually maybe I should just show you how I do it rather than show you it in screen share. So I will okay, so I would be in this mode. So before I put it onto presentation mode, and all I would do is I would go to insert and pick up a text box, and I draw the text box in here. So as I'm talking to people, I can write in their results. And this actually works really well because it gets me a really good idea of the sort of issues that my customer is dealing with, health issues, understanding what their level of support that they need. And it's going to help me to help me put a protocol together to help and support them. So it's really quite simple. They can rate if this is them, if it's never them, or if it's always them. So I ask them the question, my sleep is satisfied and I awake rested, and they say 2, and I just put a 2 in, and then I carry on, and I just ask them the questions. And then at the end of it, I'll have a bit of a profile of the health and wellness of the person that I'm dealing with. So I'll know if, you know, if they're suffering with aches and pains, if they've got problems with anxiety, if they have digestive issues, by asking these simple questions. And what I then do is I ask them the questions, those 2 questions that we have in the Live Guide, which is my earphone's falling out again, Andy. What do I want to feel less of, and what do I want to feel more of? And I actually pre-populate these with 3 things that I come across most often. And the reason I do that, I do go in and change it if they tell me there's something else, but I used to start blank, and this is my experience. When you start blank and you ask somebody this, they sort of often don't know what to say. And so if you give them some suggestions, so I would say it's already filled in with what a lot of my customers want to feel more of, and what they want to feel less of. But this is about you and your top priorities. So I can easily take something out and replace it. So what do you think? And also, don't forget, you've just done this, so you've got an idea of what those things should be as well, if they're not feeling rested when they wake up, etc. So you can fill this in, and you can get an overall top 3 priorities of what they want to feel less of and what they want to feel more of. And so then I would say to them, okay, I'm going to use that information to help us put together a proactive protocol for you. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about some of the oils you've got. Now, I'm working on the basis that this is somebody that has had a 10 oil pack, the normal 10 core oils. If they haven't, you can change this presentation, because you'll know that, and you can change it up. If they haven't had anything, or if they've only had 1 oil, then I would just leave it the same, so that you're actually encouraging them to get more oils so that they can deal with their proactive healthcare. So I talk to them about the proactive daily routine, the lavender oil, and how that's going to help them, particularly putting emphasis on this if they have shown through their questionnaire that sleep is one of those issues that they need. Lemon, everyone needs lemon because of its detoxifying and invigorating properties. So I talk to them about using that every day, drink in the morning in a glass of water, or putting into a vegetable capsule if they don't find that as enjoyable as most people do. And then frankincense, popping that in the roof of their mouth each night, because that's going to help them with inflammation, and talking to them about the importance of getting inflammation out of their body, because it is, you know, really setting them up for these chronic conditions if we don't fight our inflammation. And then Zengest, and again, if they've answered on here that they never suffer with digestive issues, then I would talk about Digest Zen being something that they would use a drop in a glass of water if they did have any problems. But if they've highlighted that there's somebody that actually, yeah, I know I have problems with my digestion, I have IBS, I have bloating, etc., then I'm going to home in on this in more detail and make sure that they're actually taking a drop in a shot of water after each meal, or at least each large meal. Don't really need it at breakfast time if they're having a healthy breakfast, but certainly after each meal. So I'm going to change these wellness routines slightly depending on the information I've been given, but most people need these particular oils as an ongoing preventative. And then the 5th one that we need to be telling people to use on a daily basis is the On Guard, and explaining to them they can use this as a shot in a small amount of water, or they can rub it on the bottom of their feet morning and night. They can use it for cleaning their vegetables and general cleaning. Now, remember, at this point, they will have been to a class, so they know all the basic information. What you are doing is building an individual relationship with them, where you are putting together this protocol for them personally, so that they know how to use the oils they've got. Because the worst thing in the world is somebody buys oils and then they've forgotten what they bought them for. So you're reminding them and you're helping them on a personal level. So one of the best ways to do that is for people to understand the importance of the wellness pyramid. So the wellness pyramid that you're probably all familiar with is for people to understand that our job and what we do is not just to talk to them about what oils they can use to help them, but it's actually to encourage them to look at their whole lifestyle, because it's only by having a holistic approach to all of the things that will make a difference collectively to our healthcare, where we can really have optimum fitness and health and well-being. So the oils are one part of it. And then all of these other parts, in fact, we have products that can support them all. So eating right, we have our lifelong vitality, we have our nutritional products. And you all know on this call that you cannot get enough nutrition from fruit food, and that our farming and our soil is overproduced. And what the goodness we got from an apple 50 years ago in some cases can be like 10 times as much back then to what it is now. So we need to supplement, but we need to eat right, but we also need to supplement. So we've got the products to make sure that we've got that part of the pyramid covered. We need to exercise. So that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be doing cardio, strength, and vigorous exercise. Even if it's just doing a good paced walk each day, it is all going to help towards the total fitness of our body and its ability to fight disease, infection, and to keep us in optimum health. Rest and manage stress. And with the exercise, of course, we've got products as well. So that's when you would introduce Deep Blue and all of the products that help with exercising. Rest and management. So it's important, especially if you've found out through that questionnaire that sleep is not a good thing. It's not something they're having a lot of support with, and they're not waking up rested. Then again, we've got products to help them rest and manage stress. Reducing the toxic load is a major part of our health care. And then we go on to our informed self-care, which is using products that, again, it's sort of in hand with toxic load, but it's using products that we use every day to help and support us, and how we can incorporate essential oils within those products. So like the facial care products, the body care products, all of these products have essential oils in them, and this can really be an informed self-care towards our body. And then the last one, which is our oils in our proactive medical care. So I just introduced the triangle to them. Then I talked to them about the lifelong vitality. If you haven't had a chance to go on to the Do Success website, which is www.dosuccess.co.uk, there is some amazing there's some amazing stuff on there. There's actually a lifelong vitality part to the drop down menu, and on there is some great testimonies. So go on there and you can pick up some of those testimonies and use them if you haven't got your own testimony. I have an amazing strong personal testimony with lifelong vitality. Hopefully you all have, and hopefully you're all using lifelong vitality, because you can then sort of share your strong testimony with people. but also you can find that on your on their Do Success. Okay, then I talk to them about how they can find information so that they can, as things come up, they can go and find out what they need, so that you're actually making them, you're going to support them on their journey, but you also want to make them independent of you as well, especially when it comes to things like, you know, keeping compliant, you know, because they might have questions for you around things that you really would prefer that somebody else answers, to keep as compliant as possible. Well, our Essential Life app is amazing for that, because this is a third-party app, and so, you know, we don't have to worry about compliance here. We can just send people to here, they can download the app, they can put in the different conditions, and it will tell them what oils that they can use. Also, the same thing with my favorite book. There's quite a lot of books, but the one that I include in my wellness consultation is the Advanced Oil Magic. So I always mention that if they're the sort of person that prefers to have everything in a book rather than in an app, this is the book I recommend. So I give them that, and I give them the link in it. So what I'm going to do after the wellness consultation, I'm actually going to send them their presentation. So when they get it, it's going to have their protocol on, their summary of the questionnaire, etc. So they'll have this, and they'll be able to play the presentation, and then this link will be a live link and be able to take them through. So, and then I just quickly give them areas that they can go to find things. So the doterra.co.uk, where they can download the pips if they want information about what's in the products. The doTERRA blog, just simply Google doTERRA blog, and that will come up with lots of great information, recipes, different things that you can make with the oils. I love the blog. And the doTERRA ebooks, they can search doTERRA ebooks, and they will come up with lots of electronic books that they can read. The source to you, and then I just mention 2 Facebook groups. I know we've all got lots of different groups going on. Obviously, if you were to put yours in, you wouldn't mention my group, you would mention your own customer group that you have, and just tell them that where they need to go, and link them into that group. And also the Essential Gifts of the Earth is the other Facebook group that I talk to them about, and how they can go in there and search different things that they may come up against, and they can also ask questions in the Essential Gifts of the Earth group. What I then do is I have different slides on different things. Now, if I know that a certain who I'm going to be talking to, I might already have an idea that they need a certain product, so I'll pop it into the presentation. Copi Iber normally always comes up when I'm talking to people, so I pop that in. The emotional support oils normally come up, so I just pop those in so that they're already there, and then mention the accessory items that they can get. What I then do, going back to not having this in presentation mode, so if I was in the non-presentation mode, I would be able to put another text box in here. And now, from my conversations, I've got an idea of what oils they might need. Now, if you're new and you don't have an idea, then you can always make up this later. So what you can do is say, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a basic protocol. And we talk about morning, afternoon, and evening. And this is what I will put in everybody's basic protocol. So you wake up, you have your peppermint and orange experience, and you describe that to them, how that's going to wake them up and give them lots of energy. We're going to then put our On Guard on the bottom of your feet. We're going to have our glass of lemon water. And then we're going to take 1 to 2 lifelong vitality. So we've already talked about lifelong vitality. Everybody needs this in their life. Then in the afternoon, we're going to do the drop of lemon in a glass of water again, the lifelong vitality. I've put the bone complex in this one, but not everyone has that, but I've got it in that in the afternoon. And then we're going to do an orange and peppermint inhale to boost us again in that sort of afternoon lull. And then in the evening, we're going to do our drop of frankincense on the roof of our mouth. So everybody needs that as a basic protocol. And then depending on our conversations, we're going to add in here any personal things that have come out of our conversation that we would like to add into them, and then what we suggest they diffuse. So you could just have the general suggestions. So for example, if you weren't sure, everybody needs lavender in the diffuser in the evening to help them sleep. During the day, citrus in the mornings, every single citrus oil is going to wake people up and energize them, but depending on what's going on in what's come out, you can actually help them and just add that into their protocols. I then talk to them about reducing toxins, and I would ask them, do they know what the top 12 cancer causing products are in the home? And this just gets a bit of conversation, so you've got a two-way thing going on here. And then I show them, and normally people are quite shocked that all of these products on here can actually be cancer causing products, because they have neurotoxins in, and they're endocrine disruptors, and there's so much research. So you could just tell people, go and do your own research out there, because this has been found and proved that there is these products that are going to that are harmful. So what we want to do is we want to help you take these out of your life and out of your home, because you remember when I showed you the wellness triangle, that reducing your toxic load was a big part of you having that overall health and well-being. So the products that can really help you do that, and then we just go through them. On Guard Cleaning Concentrate, we do an amazing concentrate, and it's so concentrated, it's this bottle here, but it actually makes up 12 bottles of all-purpose cleaners. So you can make up your own, and it's really affordable. It actually works out cheaper than buying these toxic products from the supermarket. Laundry detergent, one bottle here, can you believe it does 64 washes? So just, show them how they can use their account that they now already have, where they're getting 25% off their products. They can actually save money and at the same time reduce toxins in their home by using all these products. Toothpaste without fluoride in, hand sanitizer, all of our skincare and our hair care. And at this point, normally people are saying, oh, wow, I didn't realize you did all this stuff as well. Or I thought it was just oils. So you're really introducing them to the wider product range and the wider abilities and options with their account. And so then that's when I find it much easier, when they've had, at this point now, they've probably got a list. So I've encouraged them to keep a list as I go through. Even though I'm going to send them this presentation, just keep a list just to remind you of the things that we're going to talk about that we feel that are going to be helpful to you. So they start to make that list. And also now they're starting to understand why they need to take these toxins out of their house, because they're really harmful for their health and their family's health. And now we can help you get all of that at the best price. Do you remember when you got your membership, I told you you're going to get all your products at 25% off? Well, that is obviously how your account's going to work, but we also have a way that you can get them even better than 25% off, even below wholesale, and that's through our loyalty rewards program. And Andy went through that last week, so I don't need to go through all of that, but I just show them what they get, what the difference is between a standard order and a loyalty order, and how they can, through the next 13 months, get their points that they're receiving back up to 30%. And then at that point, I take them over to, oh, actually, I'll show them this slide first, that it sometimes can be a bit confusing for people. How many PVs do I need to have certain things? So I always explain PV as being doTERRA's currency. It's doTERRA's own currency because we sell in over 100 countries. So it means that it's fair to everybody that a bottle of lavender oil is worth the same in the UK as if it was being sold in Canada or China or wherever it was being sold. And so 50 PV, for example, is going to be about 36, 38 pounds, depending on the exchange rate. So if you were to put an order in for 50 PV in a month, then you would earn points back on your purchases. And then I just show them here. But if it was 100, if you were with us actually sharing the business with others, you could actually earn commission. And if it was 125 PV, you're going to get the product of the month. And so then I take them over to their site. This is the great thing about doing it online. You can actually live go over to their site and go in and show them how to place the LRP order and actually set it up with them for them there and then. So we just go through this. I keep these on the slides so that if there is somebody that says, oh, I'll set it all up later, and you feel like, oh, you know, you can show them, but they don't want to actually set it up there and then you've got the slides in your presentation when you send it to them so that they know how to go through and set it up. So it takes them through each slide, shows them where they can edit it when they're ready to edit, and where they can use their points when they've actually achieved their points. I then just remind them that they will get a newsletter each month to tell them what the free product of the month is, and leave them on the wellness pyramid. So that's the presentation that I do. Now, what I try to do as well is schedule my wellness consultations at the time of enrolment, if possible. Now, what I'm finding right now is, because most of our, I'm sure you're all the same, most of our enrolling is being done online. So it's harder to get your wellness consultation probably set up there and then when you're doing it on online. But what I've done to help me with that is I've created an auto booking system for my wellness consultations, and this is through Calendly. So if you already use Calendly, then this is a really good way of scheduling. So setting up another event on your Calendly to auto book your wellness consultations. So all I do is simply send people a message to say, whilst you're waiting for your doTERRA products, it'd be great to set up your free wellness consultation so we can ensure you get the most out of your oils and membership. To book a spot, please click here. And then I've got a Calendly link that takes people to be able to choose a time to have their wellness consultation. And it's sort of like my PA. And when you've got a lot of events going on, so for example here, this is my Calendly. This is my Calendly schedule for this week. So you can see here what I've got going on tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And if I click on the details, if you haven't used Calendly before, it's amazing. It's, as I say, it's like having your personal assistant. If I click on that detail tab, oh, that's just one person, so it will give me the details of Emma. But if I click on my 7 o'clock tomorrow, I've got 10 people in for my essential oil workshop. If I click on the details, it will also show me each of those 10 people and the information that they filled in when they went on my Calendly link. So that will be their name, their email address and their telephone number. So if you have Calendly, or this might be a good reason to get Calendly, then all you do to use it for a wellness consultation is use it on the one-on-one setup rather than the group, because you're only going to want people to come one at a time on these. I normally set them up for a 2-hour window. That is not because my wellness consultations are taking me 2 hours, but I don't want people to choose one and then another one an hour later, because that's just too exhausting if you were just doing wellness consultations after wellness consultations. So I just want to give a 2-hour window before somebody else could book something. So I've got a breather in between them. So you just set them up as a one-to-one. I give myself a 2-hour gap in between, and then I just tell Calendly the times that I am available to do a one-to-one wellness consultation, and it then just does it all for you. So I just use this text. You can put whatever you want in, but I just send them that link, and then when they click on the link, they'll see this. It will remind them what a wellness consultation is, that we're going to discuss their health priorities and goals, create a daily wellness plan, and I'll also explain how you can get the most out of your membership and receive exclusive member rewards. So they know what the call's going to be about. This particular one was one where I was doing personal wellness consultations, but then I said, like, well, we're on lockdown. I'm actually going to be doing them all online. So once I've put that into Calendly and somebody clicks on the link, this is what they'll see. They'll see this information about what the wellness consultation is, and then the dates that I've got available for them to book in. They'll get a confirmation, a reminder. I'll know they're booked in. They can have a text reminder if you've got the text facility on your Calendly. So I've just found that has been really helpful. If you are interested in any of the slides that I've used to incorporate into what you are doing with your wellness consultations, you can actually go to the TVE site for the basic presentation and the slides that I've shown you. I'll go over there and show you actually. Let me just end the show. Can you still see my screen? Okay. We're still there. Andy, can you hear me?
That's fine.
Can you still see my screen? Does it say thank you, contact the person who invited to watch this?
That's correct.
Perfect, thank you. So I'm just going to take you over and show you where you can get this presentation from. If you're not already got access to my download site. So if you go to TVE, you will just need to, the first time you go in, register to go in. If you go to the members hub here, then you can see on online training. If you click on online training, just scroll down to the bottom. These are my training things. You're very welcome to use anything that you see there. But on the bottom, oh, there's even a setting up Calendly. So if you do want to set up Calendly, there's a video there on how to set it up. But here's the one. Series 5, episode 2 is the example of a wellness consultation. So you just need to click in there and you can download the PowerPoint slides that I've showed you tonight, and you can use them and as you will. In there is also a recording of me doing a wellness consultation with somebody. So if that helps, you can go and watch that. Let me just go back to my presentation. So all I leave it with, finally, I leave it on this slide. So I'm hoping, so by that point, I just want to let people know that different people join doTERRA for different reasons, and at that point you'll know what this person has joined doTERRA for. So I know that your reason for joining us was to get these products in your life at the wholesale discounted rate. So you're now a wholesale customer. Hopefully you can see how you can use these products every day, and you're really going to get the most out of your account. Now, I just want to mention that there are actually 2 other ways that you can be involved with doTERRA. One, you are going to, I'm sure, love the products so much that you will not be able to stop talking about them. And there's a great way that you can actually get your products for free, and that's by sharing them with other people. So do let me know when you get to that stage, and I can tell you sort of more about how we can make that happen. And the last one is, I'm always looking for people that would like to join me on this journey and supplement their income and become one of our builders to actually, supplement or actually replace your income. So always leave it with that, because you don't know who you're talking to and how their circumstances could change, even if you know that all they're interested in right now is being a wholesale customer. And then I'd always just say, and of course, if you know anybody that you think that this might help, right now we are in a huge, we've got a huge sort of opportunity or an advantage where we can really help and support people to change their lives in such a powerful way that I think we can't keep it to ourselves. We need to be telling people that there is options, because people need hope right now, and there's really, people are getting more and more worked up and more anxious about what their job prospects look like and what the future looks like. So the more people that we can let know that we have a solution, and even if they don't need a solution, you may well know somebody else that does. So please let them know that we can help them, both in terms of their health, but also in terms of being able to take some of that financial pressure away from them that they're going through right now. So I hope that has helped. I'm going to stop sharing and bring you all back on screen and answer any questions if you have any questions, or if you have anything that you'd like to add to my training, then please, I'd love to hear from you. If you do anything the same or totally different or anything at all, always happy to hear and get feedback from other people on the call. Anybody there?
I'm here.
Unmute yourself if you've got anything to add. How are we doing for time? Oh, I was really good on time tonight. We've got time for chatting if anyone wants to help. You're welcome, Vicky.
Lisa, you earlier on this evening you mentioned the bone nutrients.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I bought some of it quite a while ago, but I was talking to one colleague, and she'd mentioned that she was on it, and she said, "Oh, but if you've got an underactive thyroid, you can't use them." And it was at one of our training days, and we had to go sit down, and I never got a chance to speak to her again. Can you throw any light on that, please?
I haven't personally heard that, no. But sometimes in the nutrients, what can happen is the oils and the natural food materials that are used within them, they can mimic different so estrogen, for example, it can mimic it, but it isn't estrogen. Right. Or hormones, it can mimic hormones, so it doesn't have the same effect as if it was the hormone, because it's natural. And what happens in nature is when you take it into the body, if the body doesn't need it, the body gets rid of it. It's not like a drug or, you know, an over-the-counter medicine where you can overdose because your body doesn't need it or your body's had too much, it will actually get rid of it. So it could have something to do with some misinformation there. I certainly haven't heard it, but what we can do, and if you're ever unsure, and like this is one that I'm like not 100%, I've not heard it, but because I would rather be safe than sorry, what I would always say to somebody if somebody said that to me is, I haven't heard that, I don't think that is the case, but let me just go and double check.
Yeah.
And the place to double check it, the best places I find are the Gifts of the Earth site, is to go into the Gifts of the Earth Facebook, search it first of all, and see if there's any conversations that have been had around it. And if they haven't, then just drop a message on. Now, that comes with a slight bit of caution, and I am going to say this because you do get different schools of thought in that group. And I don't always 100% agree with everything that people put in there, and you can get conflict in. So what you have to do is see what comes back, what's credible. Is it from a credible person? Is it somebody, you know, that I know? Is it someone in the uplines or whatever? And if you're still unsure, then you know, then reach out to me privately and I'll do some more digging for you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, Margaret, the URL for the TVE site is tve.life. Thank you, I should have told you that. It's www.tve.life.
Can't see any more questions at the moment. Everybody's very happy, I guess.
Well, I hope that was helpful.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks a lot, Lisa. Do you want to wrap it up now, or have you got any more questions? There might be one more that's come through. No, that's just Jerry saying great presentation. Everybody's really happy. So thank you very much, everybody. And thank you, Lisa, for a great presentation.
Brilliant.
So
you're welcome.
You all know where to go if you want to get that document. We'll be back here, of course, next Monday at 8:30 p.m. What we'll be discussing, I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I've got one or two irons in the fire, but as soon as we know, obviously, we will let you know. But I'm sure we can put something on that's really useful for you. So look forward to seeing you all back here Monday at 8:30. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Good night. Good to see
Bye.
you all.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.